Hello everybody and welcome back to Atelier Meruru. In this video, I am going to try and focus on leveling up my character. I've done a lot of videos in a row of doing a lot of delivery requests and synthesizing and spending a lot of time in orals, but I've realized that my level is getting really far behind, and this is actually kind of a bad thing because a lot of the things in our development quest screen has a lot to do with monster hunting. We also have some really cool optional monsters we can fight, like Ent. There's also Mount Velis, which has a lot of very powerful monsters. And unfortunately right now, I'm just not at the proper level. Your level does max out at 50, but we still have 9 levels to go with Meruru and several more to go with Mimi especially. So that's what I'm going to focus on, and it's been quite a while since we've kicked a lot of monster butt, so I think that'll be a lot of fun. We also have 2 letters to deliver to Rufus, one for the Modus Ruins, and one for this new area called the Endless Corridor. I put in a little video at the start of this video, a little cutscene of Astrid actually giving us a whole new location on the world map. So we're going to go over towards that area and pick up a couple of things and fight some monsters. Let's go to the study before we leave town though. Because these 2 letters are around the same area, I'd like to just deliver them so that we can see if we can do them while we're in that area and just kind of do it all so we don't have to make a couple of trips. So with this, we actually get 3 unique monster hunting requests. The Twilight Maiden is worth a whopping 100 points, just like the Forest of Ent. So that will be a really good challenge to put ourselves up to. We also have the Rage Beast in Twilight Forest and the Deer Element in the Farthest Garden, both of which are worth 40 points. So we actually have quite a few points up for grabs here and some really good monster challenges. At the moment, I have 120 development points, so it may not be a bad idea just to spend some points in order to start building some stuff and to get the population up. I do need to have 100,000 people before I end the game, so I'd like to make sure that I meet that goal and I don't have to worry about it. So let's just build a few things for the sake of doing so. I'm sure along the way we're going to get some more development points. Let's build the Wonder Container for 50. And let's go ahead and let's also build the Print Shop for another 50. That way we can have 2 buildings going at the same time, and we can also get more population from the both of them. And a quick cutscene before we go as well. This is just Meruru talking to Rufus about Mount Velis. We have actually done quite a few different development plans over by Yuval and Mount Velis, so we've definitely taken the place to a much higher level than what it was before. And Meruru is overly ecstatic about all of her success, but of course Rufus isn't, in usual fashion. And there are always issues to solve, of course. And I think there's more to Mount Velis than what Rufus is telling us, because he seems to be awfully concerned for some reason. He knows something that he's not telling us. But we might have to get that out of him a little bit later. Meruru doesn't have the patience to stand around for it right now. But I'm not worried about anything over at Mount Velis at the moment, because we are going to the opposite end of the world. Alright, so you can see that the Endless Corridor is right by the Modus Ruins. We've also built our arena, which will allow us to get more allowance on the 10th of every month, and we get a nice population increase. And we'll also have more buildings coming up in about 30 days' time. There is a lot that I'm going to be doing in this little area here, and it actually lines up quite nicely. We do have a monster hunting request at the Garden Ruins. We have to hunt down the Ghost Knight, which I haven't done because I still don't feel like I'm ready. The problem with this fight is it's very chance/luck based, and I'd like to be a little bit stronger. I would also like to go to the Cape, so I can pick up some Azure Wings, which will allow me to finally make my Warp Gate, which will make me incredibly happy because it's going to cut down on so much time. I'd like to go to the Modus Ruins and maybe visit the Chim and do a little bit of training. We have one of the monster hunting requests over here at the Twilight Forest and another over by the farthest garden. And then finally we have this entirely new Endless Corridor area to go to. That is a long walk though, so I think to start out with we are going to visit the Cape and pick up a few items, which I will be using later when I get back to the workshop. So I should mention, we have been to this area before, but Azure Wings are an incredibly rare item, and they are only available if you have done the second development quest in the Modus Ruins, which we did a few videos ago, as a matter of fact. That was when we were delivering meat and capes and things like that to the people that were living there. After you've done that, you'll be able to pick up the Azure Wings, and it's really nice because they're very close. You don't have to go all the way to the other side of the map to get them, and you only need 2 to make a Warp Gate. I haven't quite described what the Warp Gate does, but I will be showing its purpose off when we actually make it. But now that I picked up those Azure Wings, I'll be able to make one when we get back to the workshop. From here, I think we will visit the Modus Ruins. Everything looks to be in order here. Again, like I said, we just newly developed this place. It's looking a little bit more lively now. And there's also this new area behind our Chim to inspect. This little tombstone here. I wonder what this lithograph says. Let's take a look. Somewhere within the eternal hallway lies the path to reverse the truth of time. What does that mean? I have no idea what it's talking about. I assume it's related to alchemy somehow. This could be the Endless Corridor Miss Astrid was talking about. Anyway, it's worth a shot. And the Endless Corridor is a place that we will be going to, so we don't have to worry about that too much for now. At the Chim, at Pamela's store, I have registered a bunch of new items. I registered some healing bells, which will replace my elixirs. It's a party healing item, and I also get one of Meruru's personal development goals finished by using them. I have started making these at Pamela's. I'm going to be using these as the primary healing item. I have also started to make some spirit stones. They are a very powerful attack item, and again, by using them I do get one of these skills fulfilled for one of Meruru's royal requests. And I don't think I registered anything else. I replaced the healing bells with the elixirs and the spirit stones from the magic swords because I just have way too many swords. Unfortunately though, they're very expensive just because they are a very high quality item. Fortunately, if you can't afford to make these on your own, what you can do is you can get your hom to make them, which is another option. Just for anybody out there who is wondering, I have filled my basket pretty much up to the brim with all sorts of healing and attack items, just because I want to be fully prepared when I come out here to fight and to level up on some of these enemies. I did bring lots of items with me, and I still do have a lot of them in my container as well. And at this point, I guess I can just start fighting enemies whenever I want. But it seems like a bad time to start anything really new. So I'll go back out to the map. And from here, I have a couple of options. I'd like to go and train a little bit, which I may or may not do off screen. I think that my better choice right now is to go back to the Twilight Forest and fight against the Witch Roses. I do get a very decent amount of experience from fighting them, and it'll give me a good couple of levels before I start up the next video, so we can maybe take on the boss type enemy in this area, or perhaps the one in the farthest garden, or maybe even both, depending on how well I feel that I'm doing. I would like to save the Endless Corridor for another time because it is an entire dungeon. This place is absolutely ginormous. It would probably take a video or two to get through just because of its sheer size. But it is a really cool place, and I do plan on going through it in this playthrough. It's definitely not something that I want to miss. So let's go to the Twilight Forest. And let's start here. I do feel bad because I was in this area a couple of videos ago, and I was fighting these exact enemies as well. I don't mean to put so much repetition into these videos. The problem is that I just don't want to waste any time. I don't want to go up against enemies that are too tough, but I also don't want to go up against enemies that are too weak. Because if I die, then it wastes a bunch of time. But if I keep fighting these enemies with no benefits, then it also wastes time. So I think the Witch Rose right now is a pretty happy medium. So I can gain a few levels. I don't know if I'll make it to level 50, although that is actually fairly realistic if I time things out really well. But I think I'd like to be around level 45 before I attempt anything too crazy. Or I go into a dungeon, because dungeons can be very long and they can kind of tire you out a little bit. But that's just my own personal strategy. I kind of just like to be careful, and because I have played this game so many bloody times, I kind of know what to do and what not to do, and ways that you can really save the time. That was my problem in my first playthrough, was just that I had wasted so much time that I didn't get nearly enough accomplished, and as I got better with each playthrough, I definitely was able to do things in a much better time, which is basically what this game is all about, is trying to do as much as you can within the game's time limit. But anyways, I'm kind of just rambling here now. I just wanted to make the video a little bit longer and just give you guys a good idea of what it is that I'm going to be doing. I'll probably stay on the world map after the video ends and do a little bit of grinding. I'll just kind of take a look around and see if I'm able to defeat any of the boss enemies around here. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully we can make some really good progress, because I think we've done a lot with alchemy. My alchemy level is 45, so I'm pretty confident in that. We still have nearly 20,000 people to get in our kingdom before we reach the population goal, but we still have more than a year in the game, so we have a lot of potential to still accomplish a lot and get a lot done before the game sees its end. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will be seeing you next time.